Welcome. My name's Nick. Let's talk about some yoga. Today, 3 mistakes you might be making with your massage ball, or your foam roller, or your massage gun, or your massage cane, or your gua sha tool. You get it. So many people go out and get their fancy tools hoping it's going to solve their back pain or hip pain. And you massage, you massage, you massage, you massage, and yeah, maybe it feels good, but the pain just comes back. If you want to get the most out of your massage tool and enjoy lasting relief, be sure to avoid these 3 key mistakes. Starting with mistake number 3. Not taking a global approach. If your muscles hurt at home, try getting a massage in Thailand. No, I'm joking. Tell me if this sounds familiar. So you have a spot on your hip that hurts. So you take out your roller or your massage gun or whatever you've got, and you go over it again and again and again and again, and sometimes that works, but other times not so much. So here's the problem with that. Muscles don't work in isolation. They move the body by working in groups. Just because you have a pain on the outside of your hip, for example, doesn't mean that it's the outside of the hip that needs the attention. There's probably nothing wrong with massaging the outside of the hip, but your results would be a lot better if you spend time giving some love to the other members of Team Pelvis. So, an easy and admittedly simplified way to do this at home is to make sure that you're massaging the muscles on the opposite side of the structure in addition to the muscle that hurts. So, if it's the outside of the hip causing you grief, spend some time addressing the inner thigh as well. If your upper back is hurting, also work on the front of the chest. The basic idea here is that you're spending time working on the muscles that do the opposite of the muscle that hurts. So, for example, your outer hip abducts the leg, so also work on the inner thigh, which adducts it. The upper back retracts the shoulders, so also work on the chest, which protracts them. Taking a global approach, you have a much better chance of applying your tools to where you need them most and uncovering the hidden culprits causing that reoccurring pain. All right, mistake number 2. Not spending time in strength training. So true, you can develop muscle knots from overuse, but underuse can be just as bad. Just because your muscle feels tight doesn't mean that they're strong and need to be relaxed. The classic example of this would be the desk jockey sitting in their office all day who develops pain in their back and their hips. They're not really overusing their glutes or their spinal extensors sitting in a chair all day, but they hurt nonetheless. Those muscles, they get squished, deprived of oxygen, they're underutilized, and end up atrophying. Now, you can't make your weak, achy, atrophied muscles stronger by massaging them. Believe me, I would be an absolute beast if that were true, but that's not how it works. What you do get massaging your muscles is a kind of window of opportunity. So for a while, after rolling or massaging your back, it's going to feel more limber and more mobile. But don't fool yourself into thinking that you've solved your problem. You need to make use of your newfound mobility and strengthen those muscles. So, if you are just starting with yoga or your movement practice, this strength training doesn't need to be anything crazy. Most of your strength gains as you begin are going to come from building neurological connections rather than building muscle tissue. Doing some basic strength and mobility work for 20 minutes a day will be enough to get you started. You can find a link in the description for a short strength and mobility sequence. I put it together just for you. And the number 1 mistake you might be making is forgetting to breathe. Sounds obvious, but it is important. If you're not actively encouraging your muscles to relax with your breath, your results are going to be lame. Muscle knots are neuromuscular in nature. For whatever reason, the nervous system has told those muscle fibers to contract and remain contracted, so your solution is going to have to include some neurological component. Even with your expensive handheld jackhammer, you can't pound or squeeze the knots in your muscles into submission without involving your brain. So, you need to breathe. The breath is the bridge to the autonomic nervous system, and it's a key part of releasing stress. If the muscle knot that you're working on just doesn't want to go away, try focusing on the breath instead. It's pretty easy. Just remember, simple rule, inhale deep and low, exhale soft and slow. Inhaling deep into your belly, then extend the exhale by making the breath quiet. Breathing into the belly and extending the exhale encourages a parasympathetic response in the body and encourages your body to rest, digest, and relax. So, if you're not already making the breath a part of your strategy to release muscle knots, that's the number one thing I would recommend changing. So that's it for today. 3 things you want to make sure you're doing to get the best results when you're using self-massage tools. I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to like the video and send it to somebody trying to foam roll their way to better movement health. Subscribe for new tips and strategies every week. And one last note, if you're not already on my mailing list and want to get these episodes and more delivered straight to your inbox, then check the link in the description below. All right, until next time.